Hi everyone, it's Jen on the go. Welcome back to this channel. Today's video topic is Instacart Shopper ratings and how shoppers truly are on their own when it comes to keeping their ratings protected. A chat support agent from India reached out to me again and shared with me the ratings scripts that came directly from Instacart that they are required to read to shoppers who contact them for help. I am passing this along to you so that you fully understand just how harsh the Instacart rating system is and the brick wall you will continue to hit if you try to dispute them. There are some things that you can do right now to help keep your 5-star rating intact. If you're interested in hearing what these are, stay with me because we're getting into all of this right now. Okay, let's go. Instacart's rating policy is that a shopper must complete 100 orders, which is about a month of work, following a low rating in order to erase it, despite Instacart assuring shoppers that their lowest rating is removed. This policy means that it takes only 2 ratings out of 100 orders to potentially harm our wages, even when we do receive an unfair rating, because it is inevitable for all of us. There's no way to dispute it. I'm going to share with you the scripts that this Instacart care agent was so kind enough to send to me. We already know what it's going to say, but I just wanted you guys to read it for yourself because I'm not withholding anything from you. And anytime I get information, you guys are going to be the first to know, I promise you. So I'm going to put that script here somewhere so that you can read along with me. But the first thing he said to me is this, and this script is when shoppers want to call in, message in to dispute the star rating. And we're all guilty of this. I've done this about 5 times until I had to learn, oh, it really doesn't work to contact chat support. So this is what the script states. I'm sorry, but I can't change your rating. We understand that sometimes shoppers receive negative feedback due to issues out of their control. We automatically remove ratings below 5 stars that occur for reasons outside of your control, including app outages, severe weather, and ongoing out-of-stock items. We also automatically remove your lowest rating out of your last 100 orders. Customers rate in-store shoppers and full-service shoppers separately. Customers can also submit order issues while leaving a 5-star rating. You can dispute order issues in the shopper app, blah, 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 tap the star icon. This isn't a surprise, right? This is what we hear, this script, over and over again. It is so beyond frustrating and infuriating when we contact chat support to ask why we received that lower than 5-star rating and there is no reason given, but then they state, don't worry, your lowest rating is automatically forgiven. That doesn't work because that means we've lost our cushion. So now we're on pins and needles, walking on eggshells for customers, just waiting for the other shoe to drop. So that is just infuriating. But we all know that Instacart chat support is following this script to a T and they cannot veer from it. So again, when we get angry with them, it doesn't help our cause. In fact, it makes it worse for us because if we rate them lower than a 5-star, if we take our frustration out on Instacart and put it on them, they could possibly retaliate against us. And it's truly not their fault. So it's just infuriating because they let us know, oh, we removed that lowest rating. That doesn't help at all. Okay, so here's the second part of the script. And this is for shoppers who want to dispute customer feedback, sorry. And it states here, and I'll put it somewhere here, chat agents cannot change or remove customer feedback. If a shopper believes that a customer incorrectly reported an order issue, they can report the customer for fraud in the Instacart Shopper app. Warning, shoppers should only report customers for fraud if they believe the customer incorrectly reported an order issue, such as a wrong item, a missing item, damaged item, and or poor replacement. Shoppers should not use this tool to report a low star rating or poor customer feedback. And then this is when a shopper wants to ban a customer for poor feedback. This is what chat support has to tell the shopper. I'm sorry, but I can't remove a customer from you for poor feedback. I can only remove a customer from your account due to safety issues or other severe customer misconduct. Here's one more part of the script I want you guys to see. I'm going to put that right here. And this is when a shopper wants to ban a customer for a poor rating. Chat support is required to say, I'm sorry, there's the I'm sorry again, but I can't remove a customer from you for poor ratings. I can only remove a customer from your account due to safety issues or other severe customer misconduct. So there you guys have the crux of the script that this chat support agent sent to me. And again, I really appreciate having this information. We already know this, but it's also good to see, just to validate that when we call them, we're not going crazy, because they say the same things over and over again because they are required to say it, and it is what it is at this point. But it is infuriating when we do receive ratings for no reason given. Instacart stated in the past that they would remove these ratings if a customer does not give us a reason, but that's not true, because these ratings are sticking, and it is so infuriating and really demotivating, isn't it? All we can do is let those low ratings roll off, because the rating system is this ruthless rolling 100. We've all been there though, every single one of us, but it's just really frustrating. So the next time you want to invest your time into contacting chat support, your time will probably be better served somewhere else, working on another app. They cannot help you, and yet we still keep going back for help. And this is proof right here in black and white that they have to state they cannot remove ratings, and they won't. We cannot control when a customer chooses to rate us poorly in the app. The only thing we can control is how well we do on our end. And at the end of the day, that has to be good enough. There are some things that you can do to make sure your 5-star rating stays intact for as long as possible. When I say this though, even a perfect shopper that shops perfectly every time is at risk of a low rating, because Instacart will not back us up. We know this. It is a brutal, ruthless, unforgiving rating system. But these are the things that you can do, and you probably already know these, but I'm going to say this again because there are a lot of new shoppers that are watching this channel. Number one thing to protect your ratings is communication. Not only communication, but communication to delirium, meaning your job, our jobs as shoppers, is to give that customer the 5-star service that they deserve, to be honest. And that begins with instantly sending them a message when you hit that grocery store. Make it a friendly one. Customize it so that it is your own. Use your name, use their name, use emojis. Talk about the weather. If it's raining, say, notice it's raining outside, hope you're staying dry, whatever you need to do. I know it sounds corny, but we do have to protect our ratings at all costs. And as long as you are communicating, that should really help. And it's not only communicating, but it's building a relationship and a rapport with that customer. So send your message right when you walk in the store. And you guys might be saying, we already do that. Just make sure you're personalizing it maybe a little more, and if it's not working, adjust it a little. And there are a lot of shoppers who don't do this. So communicate with that customer, and also make sure you read that customer's notes. Hit that little I in the upper right-hand corner of the app and let them know, hey, I saw your note about these items, and just so you know that I understand, and I will make sure I do my best to adhere to your instructions. Just anything you need to do, but definitely communicate all the way through. Let them know when you're at the checkout. Let them know when you're on your way. Let them know when you are at their residence and you have the items at their doorstep that they are there. Send them that photograph. Be just very deliberate in the way you communicate. And there is no such thing as over communicating. And a customer will let you know if they're not interested in communicating, but they can't penalize you for going above and beyond. So when in doubt, communicate and give it your best effort. Just don't be vague when you communicate. Be very specific. Even if it's you want to talk about the watermelons. I did a video about the watermelons. Hey, there's all kinds of watermelons. What would you prefer? Whatever you need to do to build the relationship, build it, and it starts with communication. Another thing all shoppers should be doing to keep their ratings as safe as possible is to not replace unless receiving approval from that customer. We are all tempted to do it. And a lot of the new shoppers don't know that Instacart will actually intentionally put in replacements in the app that were not put in by the customer. So don't assume because the replacements are in the app that you are given the green light to go ahead and purchase those items. I've been burned so many times by doing this, had to learn the hard way. So when in doubt, simply give them a refund and let them know, hey, listen, I'm almost done grabbing your items. I haven't heard back from you regarding this replacement. If I don't hear back from you by the time I get to the checkout, I will go ahead and refund that item, as I don't want to make a selection without your approval. You are going to be way better off, way safer doing that than taking a risk and purchasing something that Instacart put in that app on the customer's behalf. You cannot trust that. So unless you personally hear it from the customer and you send them the photograph, don't do it. I know we're all tempted, but just don't do it. Refund without approval every single time. Another thing we can be doing to help protect our ratings is to be so careful and so diligent when it comes to choosing fresh produce. 'Tis the season. It is summer in a lot of markets. That means more cherries, more watermelons, more fresh peaches and plums and nectarines. And this is a disaster waiting to happen if you're not careful. And I know we are so speed conscious, but we really have to put that aside when it comes to choosing the very best produce. And what I found lately, what is working for me, I take this opportunity to communicate with my customer about the produce, meaning I'll talk about the firmness of a plum. Some people like them squishy, some people like them hard. I don't know, but there is a difference. I always let the customer know that I chose the freshest lettuce for them with the expiration date as far out as I could pull it. And just that alone will help, even if it's one little thing that you tell your customer that you did to ensure that they received the freshest produce. So make sure you're really taking your time in that produce section. And produce is the worst. I don't like doing it, but we have to do it and we have to do it well. So really take your time and choose the best produce, because if you've done all this work and there's an apple with a divot in it that has a rotten spot, you've just lost your rating. So it's not worth it. And again, we have no backup. So our backup is ourselves. Check the produce, take your time. You have to slow down in the produce department, I promise it'll work. The way the groceries are bagged really does matter, and anymore, because of the volatility and unpredictability of the ratings, I took the job over. I do it every single time now, and now I'm used to it. I would rather bag the groceries than risk the groceries not looking right. And you guys, it really does make a difference, because the bagger, even if it's a good bagger, they're still not going to do it as well as you would. And I find that everyone loves to give up that right of bagging. And I just simply say, hey, do you mind if I bag? This is for a customer, and she's kind of crabby and whatever. I just want to make sure it's right. And every time they're like, oh my gosh, please. So it gives them a break and it gives us control. And again, I'm not putting my rating in the hands of somebody that really doesn't care, and that's how I look at it. So now I bag, and make sure when you're bagging, it's like a staging thing. It's like wrapping a present, I promise you. And customers do notice that, especially if you're at Aldi and you're using boxes, or Costco. Make sure you like organize things at the drop off, make it look nice. It's all an aesthetic wrapping, if you will. And when you bag, you guys already know this, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but don't be afraid to step in and take over that bagging process. I do it every single time now, and I actually enjoy it, because now I'm kind of like type A when it comes to bagging groceries. My frozen stuff is together and all the labels are facing upright. Maybe that's me, maybe I'm being too anal, but it seems to be working. So definitely take the time to bag your own groceries if you can, unless you do trust that one grocer or the one bagger that you have become friends with and you know they are going to do it perfectly. But anymore, I found that is not happening. I've had too many loaves of bread on the bottom of boxes. No more. So just take over the bagging situation, and that's a way that you can keep control, and just make sure when you're dropping it off, it looks nice as well. Another way to protect your ratings, and I've said this before a million times, be careful with the batch you select. This is where you have the control. It requires a little more patience and a little more waiting around in the field. And unfortunately, on the Instacart app, you always have to have your eye on the batches in order to get the best batch. You have to wait for the batch that makes the most sense. Make sure that that payout is worth your time. And I'm going to say it, please don't come after me. You have to choose the batch based on the customer tip. That is a fact, because the greater the tip, the greater the likelihood that your rating will stay preserved. It is how it is. There's too much proof that customers who don't tip cause the most problems in the app. So if you are one of these shoppers who looks at that batch payment of maybe $20 and you're okay with that, but there's a 0 tip, you are putting your ratings at risk. And I can't say this enough. And I know we all have to take double batches right now because this is all we are seeing, but that is a risk, a huge risk. And especially if you are taking a triple batch, that is the worst of all. We know Instacart is putting those 0 tip customers with the customers who are tipping generously. And I want you guys to know, I have been talking to a lot of customers lately who are they were blindsided by this, and I'm telling them what is happening, and they are contacting Instacart and letting them know that this is absolutely unconscionable and this should not be happening. So customers do not know this is happening. Instacart knows these 0 tip customers need to get service, so they are trying to fool shoppers into taking them by throwing them in a triple batch. Be cautious, be aware, do what you want to do, it is on you. But if you take a customer that doesn't tip you at all in the app, or low tip you, it's the same thing, you are putting your rating at risk. I can't say it enough. Please, for your own self-worth and for your rating protection, do not ever accept an order that doesn't have a customer tip. Don't come at me, please, but I'm just trying to help. And you guys, I truly believe you are worth more than what these customers are giving you. So don't do it. It's all about protecting yourselves. And the last thing, and the most important thing about protecting your rating, is to trust your gut, because only you know. I've had so many shoppers who have reached out to me that have said, oh my gosh, I would just received a 3-star rating and I should have known because this is how the customer was behaving. If I could go back, I would have canceled it. This is why we save our cancellations for reasons like this. If you're having a difficult customer in a store, you don't have to put up with it. It is likely they're going to penalize you no matter what. So it is better to cancel that batch and even risk the 24-hour soft ban than them rate you a 1-star, which will decrease your earnings. So definitely trust your gut, and you don't have to take any BS from the customer that wants to give it to you. So again, just be really cognizant of the way you are being treated by that customer. And if it's really bad, just contact chat support and let them know I don't feel respected. This is not okay. Because again, I've had a lot of shoppers that stated, I should have known by the behavior of these customers that this would have happened, but they didn't. So just again, if it doesn't feel right, it isn't right. And also at the drop-off, trust your judgment there as well. Just because it says leave the groceries at the front door, if it doesn't look right, don't leave them. I just did a delivery a couple days ago, and it was at an assisted living facility, and this customer's name was Gloria. And they said, bring the groceries inside. There are probably about 400 units in there, and they wouldn't let me go into the unit. And they said, oh, no worries, just put it right on that long table. I'm like, what long table? They said, that one. There were about 7 other orders on that long table. I'm like, oh, do I leave it? Because I texted the customer to let her know that it was there, and she was older, so she wasn't responsive. And I said, you know what, I'm not comfortable with leaving these groceries here. I need to make sure I see this customer. They weren't going to let me see the customer, and they said, what is the customer's name? And I said, Gloria. There was not a last name on the app. And they said, oh, we know Gloria. She's in this unit. And I'm like, ah. So I looked up the address, and I said, no, that's not the unit that's listed here. Oh, yeah, no, that's another unit. At that point, I'm like, oh, no. This is a disaster. For sure, the groceries aren't going to get to her. To make a long story short, I waited about 20 minutes until I knew for sure that this person working at the desk, I gave her my big, huge industrial cooler bag. I said, will you do me a favor? Please take these groceries directly to Gloria in this unit. And I purposely gave her my bag and took a picture of her with my bag so that she would bring it back to me. And she said, oh, we're set. Gloria got the groceries. And then I felt good. But the moral of the story is, trust your gut. If I would have left, I'm not quite sure those groceries would have made it to the right Gloria, because they were bombarded with all of these Instacart orders. Anyway, that is the biggest thing you guys can do. to protect your ratings is to really, at the end of the day, listen to yourself. You don't necessarily have to complete the order. The Instacart Shopper rating system is a complete joke. It is laughable, it is embarrassing, and it doesn't have to be this way. It shouldn't be this way, and everybody knows it, except for a lot of the customers who just don't know that rating their shoppers less than a 5-star can cause this much financial havoc. If they knew this, they probably wouldn't, they would think twice before giving that bad rating. And yes, I do know there are some Instacart shoppers that don't shop at that 5-star service, but I'm talking about all of the shoppers who do and who give their all every single day. But you know what? At the end of the day, if you do all of these things, you have to be okay with that, because that's all we can do. And I think you guys are awesome. I'm so proud of how hard you work and for your hustle. Thank you all for being here. I'm gonna end this video right now, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you all. Hope you're having a great week, or hope you had a great week. See you soon. Bye.